We made it to Friday, everyone. You know what this means? Staying up way too late playing video games and then regretting it tomorrow. But it's okay because it's the weekend. I'm Stella Chung, and in today's fix, Overwatch 2 is getting overwhelmingly negative reviews on Steam, Rockstar's partnering with major modding teams, and you really shouldn't sleep on Baldur's Gate 3. In some cases, literally. Overwatch 2's latest season Invasion went live yesterday and brought in a new support hero Illari, a new game mode called Flashpoint, and the controversial story missions. I have a full breakdown of all the changes and updates that came with Invasion in a separate video if you want to get the full details. But right now, let's talk about the community's response. With Invasion's launch, Overwatch 2 became available on Steam for the first time, but the launch wasn't exactly what Blizzard planned. Not even a day after it's been out on Steam, the reviews for Overwatch 2 were overwhelmingly negative. Only about 14% of the over 25,000 user reviews are actually positive. While Steam's charts say Overwatch 2 broke in the top 5 bestsellers on Steam by revenue, the reviews speak otherwise to how players really feel. Most of the criticisms focus on one thing: monetization. One Steam review from Orange sums up the general sentiment with, "Overwatch 2 has no respect for you. It's an attempt to pry open your wallet while masquerading as the game it used to be." So here's the thing, I wholeheartedly agree. Listen, I get that Overwatch 2 is a free-to-play game, right? And it needs some microtransactions to survive. But this was a huge change from its original format where you just had to pay $39.99 for the standard price point and get access to everything and have the option to roll some loot boxes with real money for cosmetic skins only. Free-to-play game models can work out really well if done right. Fortnite has done it really well as Apex Legends and Warzone. Players have access to all game modes and content except cosmetic items, which even then have chances to be earned or unlocked through completing challenges or by earning in-game currency. Overwatch 2 has done a piss-poor job of adopting this modern free-to-play model. Blizzard has been failing to deliver on promises to players, like the fact that Overwatch 2's main draw was a huge PvE campaign that would involve new hero abilities, co-op attacks, and level progression systems for that campaign mode. The original PvE campaign mode was cut after many seasons of Blizzard promising fans it would be arriving soon and to be patient. So not only were players upset that they've been lied to, but on top of that, Blizzard also decided to paywall the reduced versions of PvE. Now, story missions, the PvE mode, have to be unlocked by paying $15. But still, $15 isn't that much money, especially compared to buying a new $70 game. That's not the point. The point is that the community is fed up with Blizzard's inability to communicate with players honestly, and that Blizzard doesn't really seem shy in presenting how little they care about the players who have stuck with them in good faith. For $15, you can get the 3 story missions for this season and permanently unlock future story missions, but having played through these levels, I can't recommend buying this right now. The missions are incredibly dry and short, and the replayability is next to none. You play through it once and you get the story, and the gameplay is pretty repetitive and unimpressive. Story missions just feel like the little PvE events we got during Overwatch 1's seasonal events. It's incredibly disappointing. If Blizzard had actually delivered on their original PvE campaign with hero progression and new ability unlocks in their specific PvE skill tree, I would say sure, $15, let's do this. But this version now is an insult to players. At least with playing the free core game modes in Overwatch 2, you get some variety and interesting matches. I'd recommend using your $15 to get yourself a nice burrito with extra meat and chips and salsa, because then at least you're getting something meaty and worth your money. Okay, sorry. I've taken some time to cool off, and this next bit of news is actually really uplifting. Rockstar announced that they're going to be officially working with the modding team behind the incredible Grand Theft Auto 5 roleplay servers, FiveM and RedM. cfx.re, the team behind these roleplay servers, are now officially a part of Rockstar Games. If FiveM sounds familiar to you, it's probably because you've heard of one of their most famous roleplay servers, NoPixel, with all of the popular Twitch RP streamers. In a statement, Rockstar said, "Over the past few years, we've watched with excitement as Rockstar's creative community have found new ways to expand the possibilities of Grand Theft Auto 5 and Red Dead Redemption 2, particularly through the creation of dedicated roleplay servers. As a way to further support those efforts, we recently expanded our policy on mods to officially include those made by roleplay creative community. By partnering with the cfx.re team, we will help them find new ways to support this incredible community and improve the services they provide. It's nice of Rockstar to acknowledge their player base, unlike another company we were just talking about earlier. This is especially great to see Rockstar partner with cfx.re since they weren't exactly the most supportive of the modding community in the past. Rockstar had banned the FiveM mod back in 2015 after calling it an, quote, unauthorized alternate multiplayer service that contains code designed to facilitate piracy. The founder of FiveM also alleged that Rockstar's parent company Take-Two had sent private investigators to their home to intimidate them into shutting down the project. But I'm glad that's all a thing of the past. The cfx.re team said that their operations won't really change, but that with Rockstar's support, they can continue to improve their platform. They also added to not ask their team about the next GTA since they are only working on their FiveM and RedM platforms. While I know we'd all like some more GTA 6 news, or maybe a price cut on that Red Dead port, this is a really great update for the current GTA player base. Maybe we'll get some cool new upgraded servers while we wait for the next GTA game. So I'm about 8 hours into Baldur's Gate 3, and I've been using long rests sparingly because I just don't want to stop adventuring. But apparently you need to be careful when you choose to take a long rest because it could have some unwanted consequences. So in Baldur's Gate, you can take 2 short rests a day, which restore some health and spell slots for magic users. Long rests fully restore your health bar and everything else, and you come back good as new. However, that usually warrants a full day-night cycle, so an entire night will pass before you're back on your adventuring feet. Some users are reporting that they've been running into some issues with taking long rests during specific areas or quests. One player reported a situation with an early quest involving a druidic ritual they wanted to stop. They claimed they went off to do a few other things, but when they came back, the ritual had been completed and they had no chance of stopping it. Multiple other users said the player may have had just too many long rests and time may have just passed enough that the window of opportunity was missed. Other examples of this happening are people dying because the player didn't get to them fast enough, missing events due to getting there late, and some quests being impossible to progress because a key NPC moved on. In answering our question on if we should be worried when we take long rests, Larian Studios said, it's not about how many long rests you take, but when you choose to take a long rest can have an effect. For instance, you enter a town and see an inn on fire and you immediately decide to go to bed. That may have consequences. So basically, just as the age-old proverb states, you snooze, you lose. Baldur's Gate is very much a case of not being able to have your cake and eat it too. It's designed to be replayable, and while there may be 170-something hours of cutscenes, you likely won't see them all on a single run. Doing one quest might make others inaccessible, and moving on from one act to the next will make the previous one's quests and events inaccessible. So, bottom line, use your time in Baldur's Gate wisely, and unless you're deliberately playing as a total layabout piece of shit, maybe don't go to sleep if someone's about to be murdered or if the town is on fire. I know that in real life you can just take a nap to avoid your responsibilities, but this is a serious role-playing game. Get your act together. How do you feel about Overwatch 2's microtransactions? And are you as obsessed with Baldur's Gate 3 as I am? Let me know because I played till 1 a.m. last night. I have a problem because I still have to work, but it's fine. I'm awake here, I had enough coffee. If you need something else to watch, check out my complete breakdown of the season updates in Overwatch 2 that dropped yesterday and how the new support hero plays. I'm Stella Chung, keep on gaming, and I'll see you next time.